Hi everyone. Sorry for the long break. COVID-19, couldn't get out to the water to test my flies. Any fly that I show you has to be tested. But we are back for another new episode. Today we're going to do this Grubtail Jig Fly. This fly has already taken a very nice peacock bass. The action in the water is fantastic. Not only the wriggle from the tail, but the movement of all this zonga. Zonga is rabbit fur that I've dubbed around the shank. This also adds a lot of movement and also pressure through the water. You see how thick the material is from all angles. This fly was a very, very good performer. Okay, on to the fly. This should be very familiar to you. The typical jig head that we used is 2 grams. And we're going to do what we always do, to remove this part. You can refer to my earlier videos for clearer instructions how to do this. Alright, done. So now we have a bare jig head. You can feel free to upscale this for the size that you're comfortable to cast. For me, I can cast 2 grams on my bait casters, and this is actually my favorite size. I've caught even up to 6-7 kilogram peacock bass on this tiny thing. So what we're going for is a piece of material shaped like this. But of course this is way too big for this jig hook. How do we do that? Balloon! This is your typical, everyday, nothing special balloon. I hope you can see what I have drawn on the balloon. It's basically draw a few tails. Why draw so many and in different sizes? It's actually so that you can have many tails from one balloon. For this size, you can either use the smallest one or the second smallest one. These two are for bigger hooks. So, very straightforward. Your pair of scissors. Here we go. And this is going to give you a lot of action in the water. Do you tie it this way, following the curve of the hook, or do you tie it this way? I found no difference. And also feel free to experiment with the shape of the curve. I've noticed that some with a longer second section here going downwards actually have a different action from this one. This gives very quick kicks, whereas the other one is a little bit more what you call flowy. Okay, let's attach this. And today maybe we use some white thread. Tie it on. Advance the thread all the way down to about 3/4. And now is the time to decide where. I think about here is nice. Hold it. You don't have to be neat at this point. Go back once or twice and then come back again. Where do we stop? We stop just before the bend of the hook. This balloon here will tend to rotate. Doesn't matter. Because it's so limp and so lively in the water, it doesn't matter where it sits actually. Okay, so now we're going to advance the thread back up here to secure the rest of the balloon. Okay, super glue. Just a little bit. And then take your bodkin. I found these plastic toothpicks. Really good. Okay, next. You can do 2 things. You can make it a very simple fly, wrap some chenille over it, and you're done. But today I'm going to show you how to do one of fly tying's top secret weapons, dubbing. What do I mean by dubbing? We're actually going to create a chenille using whatever materials that we like. You can buy actual dubbing material like this, ice dubbing, or you can just use any furry material that you want. Most important part now is to create the dubbing loop. So pull the thread down, use your finger, make a loop, back up, secure it once. Here's the thing, you need to spin it behind once. Normally once is enough. Bring it back to where you ended previously. Okay, this is a very short loop. You may or may not need a dubbing twister, but if you're going to do this seriously, you're going to invest in tools, then a dubbing twister is very useful. Bring the arm around. Okay, let me choose a color. Let's go with this color. It's like a shiny holographic material. Take a pinch, hold on to your bobbin, put this inside. I will admit I'm not the best resource for learning how to do dubbing, but you might get the idea. Oh, some people put wax to help hold the dubbing material. That helps tremendously. Let's do 2 colors. Let's add some red in front. Okay, some red. This is not easy to do when, like me, you have a camera in between you and the fly vise. You roughly get the idea. Now you pull the thread tight. What I'm doing, see, it was open, now I'm closing it. And this side, this is optional. I just want to get rid of the loops that have appeared here. Now I can take my time to adjust how I want the materials to sit. When I'm happy, I give it a twist. See what I'm doing is I'm twisting the dubbing tool, and what you have is something like a chenille. Okay, then you treat it exactly like you would any chenille and wrap it on. Looks like a mess, right? But don't worry. Pull the material back. Release the bobbin from the cradle. Okay, once, twice, 3 times. Pull tight. Pull this one back and go another one or twice. Now you can cut this part off. There you go. At this point you are 95% done. Secure this. Pull back as much of the material as you can to make it neat and tie it off. 1, 2, bring it back here, pull it tight, cut. And if you have watched enough of my videos, you know I am a super glue junkie. Okay, now we have a bicolor jig. So what I'm doing, I'm just trimming, as you can see. It's important not to get too much of the material past the hook shank, because it might get in the way of the action of the tail, of the rubber tail. I think I'm almost done. And there we have a balloon tail jig head fly thing. Trust me, this thing is killer. For the final step, you may choose to add a weed guard. You can watch my other videos on how to do this weed guard. Alright, there you go. Oh, okay, wait. Before I go, how do you fish this? Like any other grub. If you have a grub technique, just use that. If not, you can do the twitch and fall and let it fall. Twitch your rod up, let it fall. But I found that the less violent the twitch, the more effective the action is. I've seen some people use jig heads with these grubs on them, or even the paddle tail, and they twitch about a foot. What they are doing is actually underwater, you're teleporting the fly. It just disappears from the fish's eyesight if the fish is close enough. So I try to have little tiny actions, and then on the fall, this tail will do its trick. Thank you for watching. Hope to see you back again for some more BFS fly tying. Thank you. For those of you who noticed the new vise, it's a Stonefo 2, fantastic piece of equipment. All I have to say is it was an unintended purchase. Very well, you guys know, never go into a fly fishing shop thinking you just want to look around. Never. Thank you for watching, and please subscribe. We have more material coming up.